Everybody throws a chatterbait during a shad spawn, but that's exactly why you shouldn't. You still need a bait with a little bit of thump so that you can stand out from the crowd of shad and call those bass in. This bait is more subtle than a chatterbait, more subtle even still than a mini chatterbait, and it's not a chatterbait. It'll still come through some sparse grass, which the shad love to spawn on. So while everybody else is striking out with those chatterbaits because the bass are conditioned to them, you're gonna be hitting home runs with this. Hey, BassGeek here, and this is the Pulse Fish Lures Skirted Pulse Jig. And we're gonna show you how to rig it, best gear for the job, where to fish it, the retrieves, how to fight and land those bass once they're on the hook, and we're even gonna show you some incredible underwater action of this lure. What's great about this bait is it's even more subtle than those mini chatterbaits or bladed jigs. It does still have a thump, and I love to put a trailer on there to give it a little more action. I'll show you what that trailer is in just a minute. But this thing gets bites when your chatterbait bite dies. And during the shad spawn, that can be key, because what's everybody throwing? What's the go-to during the shad spawn? A spinnerbait, a buzzbait, maybe some topwaters, and a chatterbait. They're gonna throw some sort of bladed jig. This is gonna stand out in the crowd of those shad because of this awesome lip right here. And of course, I love that it's got the eyes built in, and this skirt really twists, and it's designed to do that as the bait is coming through the water, which you'll see in that underwater footage. Now here's what I like to use for the trailer. Any kind of straight tail bait, and this is one of my favorites. This is the 3.5 Minnow by BassBeek. It's gonna match up perfectly. I think this is Pearl Magic or something to that. Links will be in the description for all these baits, by the way. Now again, one of the most important things you can do is tie the right knot. And I always say the right knot is actually your decision. I like the pit seam knot, which I put through the eyelet, swing it around about 5 to 7 times, go through the top, and then cinch it down, cut the tag in. But really, knots are kind of like baits, and it's whatever you have confidence in, because you're less likely to break off with that knot. So rigging this up, again, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure it out, and then I'm gonna pick me a little spot so that I know where it comes out. Then I'm just gonna go straight through the middle and straight out the back. Push it up on there so it's nice and snug. And there you have it. Hey geeks, my buddy AJ just went out and rigged his boat full on with the Ionic batteries, even right down to the Ionic charger. Let me tell you, the dude is happy. And for all you geeks that are fishing from smaller boats, 10 boats, that sort of thing, and you want a 16 volt for your live scope, a kayak, man, this new battery from Ionic is impressive. Lasts for about a day and a half for me, and I'm talking about 8-12 hours a day. I've got one of the best discounts out there. It is Hank 10 right here. Get 10% off. It'll save you a ton of money. Gear is extremely important with these baits and chatterbaits. You need a rod that's got a nice tip to it. And this is the rod I like. This is the same rod I use for my chatterbaits. This is the Douglas C715F, which means it's a 7'1" fast action, but it's got a great tip to it. You're not going to pull the bait away from those bass when they come up and hit it. And this rod is a $100 rod, which, by the way, I've got a 10% discount for you geeks down in the description you can use. So a $90 rod, and they make a bunch of different ones. They've got what you can use them for right here, not limited to that. Great cork handles, love this rod. Now I've got that coupled with a Lew's Custom Pro. This is a 6/8-to-1 reel. And of course, as always, I've got my Pro 100. This is the 100% fluorocarbon by K9 Line, which I also have a 10% off for you geeks at home. So when we talk about the Pulse jig, we're going to fish it in those same exact places that we've been talking about fishing everything else when it comes to the shad spawn. That's going to be those rocky areas, those long points. It's going to be those marinas, those docks, those boat ramps, seawalls, riprap, anything including some of the harder stalked grass, I guess you could say. There's not a lot of grass around here, so you know, most of the guys I know that fish a shad spawn around grass, it's a little further south than here, and there's a very specific kind. All that being said, you're going to fish this very much the same way that we talked about in the last video when we talk about the chatterbait. And you're going to throw it up there. A lot of times I'm going to let it hit the bottom. I'm going to give it just a little twitch to get it going, and I'm just going to slow roll this thing. I'm going to let it do all the work, and I'm going to contour that bank and that bottom with it. When it comes to hook set, lay the wood to them. This thing's got an extremely stout hook. Side set or a 45-degree angle come up. Listen, I know I talk about this stuff all the time, but I can't tell you, I get pretty lucky. Like, I don't lose a lot of bass. Like, when I'm really on my game and I'm really out here fishing, you know, I don't lose a lot of fish. And being able to play the fish correctly with each bait, it really does make a huge difference. And when I do lose a fish, it is 99% my fault. Not the gear, not the line, it is my fault. With this bait, again, it's not as bad as the chatterbait, but just get them to the boat, get them in the net, boat hop them if they're not giants, or, you know, reach down there and put your thumb in their mouth. Because I personally think those bass love a little human lollipop. Hey, make sure you go check out Pulse Fish Lures. There will be links in the description to everything. They make a lot of good stuff, from the skirted to the unskirted. They make a heavy duty for the summer. They make a lot of jigs and spinner baits, and got a great little jointed swim bait that's awesome during the herring spawn. Hint, hint. They just got a lot of good stuff, and they got a lot of good stuff coming out. I've heard tell of a new jerk bait. That's coming soon if it's not already out there. So I can't wait to see how that goes. They're individuals that make these baits, so it's pretty cool. Now, all that being said, if you want to learn more about fishing a chatterbait for the shad spawn, make sure you go check out this video right here. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comment section below. You geeks know I love to talk about fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so that you can get the videos and get the notifications when the videos come out. Be part of the 100% Watch Squad. It's free, and all you have to do is watch each video when they come out from start to finish. You geeks rock.